Hello and welcome to this new Starfield video, and today we've got some hot and crispy new information and news on Starfield coming straight out of the oven, or rather Gamescom. We've got some really spicy interviews, first with Phil Spencer, head of Xbox, and then also with the head of publishing at Bethesda, Pete Hines. He sat down with the folks of Bethesda and answered some questions on stream, and there is so much new information, but we'll take a look at that in just a second. If you enjoyed this video, please show some love and give it a thumbs up, and if you want to stay up to date on all things Starfield, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and activate the bell notification so you never miss a video. But now I'd say let's jump right into the content. Let's start things off with Phil Spencer's interview by IGN, and what I really love about this interview is you can really see and feel his passion for Starfield, and I really did enjoy this short snippet of the interview, but take a look for yourself.
Okay, so we're super excited for Starfield.
Super excited.
I am.
So I think I'm on my 15th playthrough. I'm probably 200 hours in, but not on one playthrough. Because we change save game formats, blah, 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 all that stuff. So I started in November, but I'm playing, I think on my final character playthrough, total Space Pirate. Man, I'm total Space Pirate. I think it's more Oblivion than Skyrim. For people who play, maybe they'll get that. It is an epic, epic game.
Well, that's really interesting that Phil thinks that Starfield is more Oblivion than Skyrim. What do you think about that? Did you play one or the other or both? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, Space Pirate. Who's going to be a Space Pirate? I'm definitely going into Space Pirate. That's the one fantasy I'm really interested about. Next up, we're gonna talk about the Q&A with Pete Hines, and wow, we've got so many new information about Starfield. We've got some really cool video snippets for you. We'll take a look at those, and then we also have some bullet points where we can talk about all the different stuff that was answered in the Q&A. Really good questions by the community, and also great answers for us, the fans. But let's kick things off with a video right here. Peter Hines is talking about Starfield's quests and the game's size. Don't worry, no spoilers in this one, but lots of information. Let's take a look for ourselves.
Way that the game is able to reveal to you just how big it is, because you do so many different things than somebody else. Even like the number of hours doesn't matter, right?
No.
Telling somebody, oh, I played Starfield for 40 hours tells you nothing about what that person has done. Like, I had a conversation with Todd, this was a couple of months ago now, I think. And he was like, how far are you in? I was like, I just hit 80 hours. And he's like, so what did you think of the main quest? And I said, oh, I haven't done it. Like, at all. And he goes, what are you doing? Like, I need you to play. I was like, well, I was doing all these other things. I'm trying factions and seeing, what does it feel like? He's like, you have to play the main quest. And so 80 hours in, I went from doing one game to a completely different game where I started really focusing on the main quest. And then I got so caught up in the main quest that I spent the next 50 hours just doing that. Like, I forgot about all the other things because I got so wrapped up in the story. And like, we intentionally don't talk about the main quest a lot because truthfully it is super spoilery. But I'm here to tell you that this game doesn't really even get going until you finish the main quest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Secretive enough.
Yeah. But again, you don't have to, but what they've done there, that story, it's my favorite Bethesda Game Studios story. It's my favorite Bethesda Game Studios ending to a story. And I think and hope people enjoy it as much as I have.
Okay, I need vacation.
All right. That sounds like a typical Bethesda game where you can just lose track of time and play for hours and hours without doing anything and also everything. That sounds really great for me. Also, who took some time off for the launch of Starfield? I know many of you love taking time off for game releases. I also have some free days, not really vacation, but 3 days off of work. And I'm curious to hear about you. As always, sound off in the comments. Next, we'll take a look at some bullet points regarding the Q&A. The nice folks over on Reddit made a summary of the Q&A. Dull Caterpillar, thank you for your time and effort for this summary. Let's take a peek. He says the game doesn't really start until after the main quest, and that's really interesting. So I'm really curious about what that means. Do we have to finish the campaign first or the main quest and then go explore, but I don't think so. But it's really interesting. They really focus or seem to focus on the main quest here. Like we've just seen in the interview, he says it's his favorite Bethesda main quest ever. And this one's really interesting. He once accidentally got sucked into the vacuum of space because he boarded an enemy ship and the pilot took off. Also, multiple passive poise across the galaxy to find. An example he gave was a set of farms where the people give resources to the people of other planets. That's really cool. I think some really interesting stuff we're gonna find here in the galaxy. This one really excites me too. Modders will be able to create planets. That's great to hear. We do have enough free planets in the game already, but modders being able to create entire planets is crazy. Certain companions will get annoyed with you if you do bad things, even companions who are really close to you. We already heard about that, but we've got confirmation again. Lots of settlements with their own people and quests to find outside of the major cities. That's good to hear. People are worried that this game will be barren and empty, but it looks like there is a lot of stuff to find. New Game Plus relates to the main story, so he couldn't say a word on it. Says it's different from most New Game Plus mechanics and it's rather special. So we've got confirmation right there that New Game Plus is in the game right away at launch, which is a really great thing. We don't have to wait until New Game Plus comes around. I love it when it's already there when the game launches. And I'm curious to see why it's so special. He doesn't know if you can fly from planet to planet, as grav driving is much quicker, only takes a few seconds apparently. Of course, there are people that love the simulation and love flying from one planet to another for maybe hours, but we'll see if that's even possible or a thing, or if it's just, hopping from one planet to another. Weapon mods combined with skills are really diverse. Said he felt like Iron Man at some stage, and I can't wait for space magic. I'm really excited about that. You can get bounties put on you, but there are ways to undo them. That's great to hear, of course. You should be able to get rid of the bounties on your head. Museum on New Atlantis explains the lore of the game, the colony war, what happened to Earth, etc. And I love the fact that they have a single place where you can get all the lore information. I love lore and I think that's a really great addition to the game. He says the boost pack skill is really important and fun. We heard about that already. The adoring fan cannot become a robot. Okay. I don't know what's up with that and why this question even appeared, but there you got the answer. There's an enormous amount of creatures. He has no clue how many are in the game. I'm really excited to see what they've come up with. Everything we've seen already looks crazy. Also, he has no clue how long it would take to 100% the game. Says after 150 hours he isn't even slightly close, and that is absolutely freaking awesome. I can see us putting hundreds and hundreds of hours into the game, and I'm really curious if people start complaining that this game is too big. I know for some this is definitely a pain point because not everybody has unlimited time at their disposal, and sometimes a game that's as big as Starfield probably is can be very daunting. So we'll see about that. Lots of mod support post-launch, yeah, we heard that already. Still great information. Mission boards can ask you to build outposts on planets, and I love that it will challenge you to interact with all the in-game mechanics. He gave a hilarious example where the mission board gave him a quest to take 2 people across to a different planet. Space taxi? After 5 hours, he found the 2 people still on board his ship and realized he had completely forgot to take them to their destination. That's really funny, and I assume he won't be the last one to whom this will happen. Lots of Easter eggs as you'd expect across the game. I know everybody is excited about Easter eggs, and I know this game will be full of it. No level cap, which is absolutely great, at least he thinks. Starter guides are coming out according to the German interviewer. No clue when, we'll see about that, and of course you'll be informed on this channel, so if you haven't already, subscribe. People on PC who have played the game early have said performance is smooth, and yeah, I'm really curious about that, and I only believe it if I see it for myself, but this would be really awesome. And also, how is the performance on the consoles? I know often PCs, especially with new hardware, are having pretty smooth experiences, so still a bit skeptical about the performance comments here. But that's it for the summary. Let's go ahead and watch another video, shall we? In this part of the Q&A, Pete Hines talks about mods and creation kit and what gets him excited about. Let's roll it.
It's coming, and again, like I get excited about this game because I love it so much, and I love what we've made and what that team made. But there's a lot more coming, and when you start to think about the kind of communities that come around Bethesda Game Studios games, and putting a tool like that in the hands of people to go, how'd you like to make a planet? Like, how'd you like to do, like, all of that is going to just be off the charts when you start getting a community to come in and add all of the different things that they want to bring to it. Their own stories they want to tell, whatever it is, or, you know, hell, I have a list of things I already want to mod, so.
And everybody who has played Bethesda games yet knows about the modding community and all the crazy stuff they come up with and all the stories they've got to tell and the enhancements to the game. I'm really excited about what is going to revolve around Starfield, or rather in the universe of Starfield. And now we gotta talk about another Q&A summary as it has some additional points. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. Thank you, Il Hansley, for your write-up. So first point right here, ships have tiers which require certain pilot skill level, which is very interesting. We were speculating about that. So you can't just go ahead and steal an S-tier ship and steer it from one planet to another. You have to first unlock some required skills. Really interesting. Also, you're being able to get abducted from surface to space with an enemy ship was confirmed, which is really awesome. Looking forward to that. Definitely. We already talked about New Game Plus, but this one here is new. The game has a slow burn. You can't do very much at the start. The game opens up slowly, which is really good, except for people who don't have as much time at their hands, like we already talked about. The next one we gotta talk about is on the question if you can spacewalk. He paused really long, but then said, I never tried it. I mean, what? Why? Why didn't you? If we can just leave our spaceship with our spacesuit on and, you know, just fly around the ship and maybe do some repairs or stuff like that. I'm really curious, still no answer about that. You can also craft weapons and spacesuits with unique effects, and this is really great information, like exotic armor or spacesuits and weapons. I love it. You can also loot spacesuits, helmets and weapons of enemies. That was one point everybody was bummed out about, because in all the showcases there wasn't an option to loot spacesuits and helmets, but only weapons and other items from corpses. So it seems like it should work. We'll see. And he also highly suggested to pick the boost pack as a skill. So go ahead and pick that skill as soon as you can. But that's it for this summary. Thanks a lot, and let's take a look at another clip from the Q&A, shall we? Let's watch the part of the Q&A where Pete Hines talks about flying between planets within a system.
I don't know. I have not tested because it's not my thing, like how much flying you can do in real time between things. Like, it's not really my thing. I tend to jump, but yeah, every planet you see, every moon you can see, you can jump to.
Yeah.
When you go to a system, you'll see a bunch of little icons. Again, you can see them in the Starfield Direct, and they will give you idea of where you can find things on a planet to do. Like, hey, there's something here. There's a, you know, there's a civilian outpost. There might be an abandoned something, as well as the ones in space. Like, there's a ship here or a star, and you don't know, like, Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Am I going to die? Is it going to be, you know, a quest? But it, you know, it does at least give you an idea as you're exploring. Like if you're looking for something to do, like there might be something here. But you can also just, I'm just going to go land on that moon and see, like,
Enjoy yourself.
yeah, what's on that moon.
But I'm really curious if you think this would be immersion breaking. Let me know in the comments down below. Sound off. And we've got another clip from the Q&A. This one is Pete Hines on spacewalking. Let's check this one out.
I don't know. I mean, it's not a thing I've ever done. It's not, it's not a, like, go float around. You're not jumping out to go fix a satellite. It's
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was like, just like, of course you can walk on the.
I know I have been jettisoned out of a ship in outer space, but that was totally unintentional and highly comical. I tried to, a ship landed on his surface. Todd had this happen to him too, and like went and I created a save game because again, like I like to test the game when I'm in this phase of like, what does the game do here, right? Because I know our players are going to try different things, so I would wait until they all went to explore, and I would sneak and follow them and like kill them one by one, and then I'd go back to the save like, okay, they're still on the. I'm just going to bum rush the ship, throwing grenades, like kill everybody, and I did, and I went to go into the ship. Like to enter the actual inside of the ship itself, and the pilot hadn't left the ship and the door was locked and he just took off.
How can you not try this in a space game? That's just beyond me. I don't know. Why wouldn't you try it? That would be one of the first things I would try. Yeah, well, I guess we will have to wait and see. Alright, it's about time to come to your favorite section where we talk about your comments on my latest video, which is this one right here. Starfield is huge. Official statements and news from Gamescom. And again, you guys showed it a lot of love, gave a lot of thumbs up, and also put in some really great comments. So let's go ahead and check out some of those. We've got James here. He says 100% playing it on my 1440p CRG9, super excited to play it on ultra wide, and it seems like a lot of people are going to play on ultra wide. I just recently, or yesterday, went ahead and ordered a new widescreen monitor, so I'm super excited to play on a widescreen. I think Starfield is the perfect game to play on ultra wide. Idle Mickey says, I bought the premium edition on Steam and don't think I'm going to regret it. Honestly, I can't wait for September 1st. I'm way too preoccupied thinking about playing it. And at this point, I don't know who isn't. Everybody's just talking about Starfield and nobody wants to wait until it finally arrives. So let's check out what Spencer Thomas has to say. I've been on Game Pass for a few years now. I thought I would have to pay the whole premium edition price to get early access, in which case I was just going to wait till the 6th. But when I found out it was only £32, to upgrade it was a no-brainer. And lots of you agree. I think at this point nobody can deny that Game Pass is just great for gamers. And there's another really great comment from Chris right here. The more you give, the more you get is a quote from Todd Howard on my recent video. Very true of many Bethesda games. In my humble opinion, people who didn't like Oblivion, Skyrim, Fallout 3, 4, etc. didn't give these games a proper chance. These are people used to having games spoon-fed to them rather than exploring and seeing visual storytelling or deep lore hidden in off-the-beaten-path caves. I really love BGS games because they reward what I would call open-world mentoring. Oh, hey, what does this do? Is this a cave? Wonder what's in there. Wonder what's in here. What's that structure over there? Wonder if it has any cool loot or maybe a unique lore book. There's a sense of wonder to the game, and outer space is the perfect setting for that kind of mood and style. Many of you agree, and I think Chris just said it perfectly. There's nothing to add, and that's exactly why so many people are really excited about Starfield and the new IP from Bethesda. But that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, please give it a thumbs up and maybe also leave a comment. I wish you an awesome day, and I'll catch you in the next one.